little, just very, very little out. Or it could be because there's no one here. It makes the spacing just... Nice ripple. I love what's happening with the hands here. I'm excited to see what that looks like with the wardrobe, because of the patterns and whatnot, and they're kind of far. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm excited to see what that looks like. Da 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 da. Boom. Oh, that was nice. They jumped, man. So I like the little Michael Jackson-esque type of like grabbing the hat, boom, like this movement right here, going from like shifting this diagonal to more like two groups. This formation trips me out because it's a asymmetrical formation. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a, oops, I'll just draw it anyways. Boom, 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 boom. And this for me, in terms of how I like do formations, or even when I teach class, like I like even spaced throughs or formations, and this is visually appealing, but also visually like I feel like I'm gonna go crazy because it's uneven. But ideally, like you want everyone to be able to be seen. But how would I have blocked this? It would have been more like this, a traditional pyramid with 6. But the thing is, you don't see them. The tricky thing about formations when working with a group, just from like my observation of it, is like you have to be mindful of where the next person's going to be, so they can easily come to, I don't know, whoever's coming next, they can easily come back to center, you know, wherever they're going to sing. You can have them here, but ideally you want them to be the main thing and set fire to everything. What was the dynamic? Cute. I like this. Oh, like that. Clean arms too. Boom. Woo! Just to be a nitpicky little bastard. Here. That's fucking finger, just to be a little nitpicky little asshole. Oh, so simple. But trippy. Up and the side. That's cute. Super clean, man. So this is more like a formation I would do with them. Sorry, I was looking like lineups here. This is how they move so much. Like, not how they move, but they move so much. Like, they're in this formation for like literally one count, and then they move. It's almost like not a formation for a formation, but it's a formation as part of choreography to add to the visuals. I hope that makes sense. Because sometimes you just move to a spot because the intent is for the artist. They need to be there while, you know, the other members are doing something else. But sometimes you move formations as a dynamic. So that I'm like kind of curious as how that would look above stage. Yeah, I love this like this movement. It's simple, but it's also powerful and also graceful and funky. But there's like, because the sound is like and they're like kind of grooving into it. Bap, that, boom. And they're not trying to hit everything too, because you hear that doom doom doom. Hear that? Dun, dun, do not hear that boom boom, or the lyrics da 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 da. So, and there's some groups, and they do it really well too. They would go boom 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 da 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 da. They try to hit everything, but with this is a great example of like you don't have to do too much to look really good. And by the way, this is genius. Shout out to the choreographer. I love this. Ooh, that was cute. Hey, friend. 7. Sorry, I just like that part. That was cute. Boom. What did you say? Sorry, in my head it sounds like I'm gonna fuck up all the lights. I know it's not. She's not saying that, but that's what my the first thing I heard. So yeah, this is definitely like this type of movement. These grooves is more like what you would see in the more of like today's style. It's kind of like I'm interpreting this as more like a freestyle kind of throw, because it's a little bit of like different angles. So, ba da da eh, ba da boom. That was a simple like formation change to make it into some almost like a dynamic, where they're just like essentially just switching spots. They're going here. Yeah, and notice the traffic, the way of traffic in a sense. Like I'm looking at her in the back, and notice her. She's going ahead already because she has way more to travel than she does. So these are things that not a lot of people know. Like when it comes to doing transitions, is like you got to know, prioritize of who's gonna get to go first. Because if you both try to go at the same time or whatever, like someone might get hit, you might trip over someone's foot. So again, this is just a small example of like how you have to, we call it traffic, like to make sure you don't hit anyone, you're at your spot. And yeesh, look at her travel. These two people on the outside, they're like going from like east to west coast for real. Boom. They gotta move. I hated doing that shit. And then look how, man, they still hit the spot. I want to see, like, I'm gonna draw like their spots. I don't know if it's supposed to be like exactly where they are, but I just want to see, just for myself. Boom, boom. Okay, maybe that's too big. Move. Dang, practically the same spot. Let's go. Nice. I love that. Da 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 da. Could be the camera angle. Yeah, let me see. She feels a little, just very, very little out. Or it could be because there's no one here. It makes the spacing just feel weird for me. Let me see. Yeah, she feels a little out. Let me actually have a line. This is just like for my own, you know, own self. Okay, she's there. Geometry. Yeah, she's a little further out. Just a little bit. So that geometry, ironically, was the only math class I liked. Yeah. Just a little out. But, you know. Yeah, this is kind of like what I see. When I see these types of formations, I see this. Like, there's no one here. It's one of those cases where it's like it might just be this run through, and it's like really kind of a small detail. If it would obviously be a problem if she's like friggin' all the way here for no goddamn reason. It would like completely throw off the balance in the force. Okay. So someone on chat just told me that they're missing members here, so that's why there's a missing spot. That makes sense. Cool. I just thought they were being intentional about like asymmetrical formations. I love that. Da 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 da. Ooh, I love that. That lean. So this part I like they're very upright, and then this strong like stance and this lean is so subtle, but it's like, look how much that changes the shape. Boom. Like them accentuating, like pushing out the hips even more. The shape is just fantastic. Love that dynamic. I'm always like amazed like at the simplicity of these dynamics. It's simple because if you kind of look at it like arm switch, it only works really well when you're with the whole group. Because imagine her just doing this by herself or that by herself. Like it would just be weird because they're like arm. That's it. With the singer in the center, it would make sense because she's singing. There's an action happening. Sorry, I just got lost watching again. So this enjoyable, like this part reminds me, like if you guys ever did like drill team or anything in high school, if you know what that is, like those crazy angles, all that stuff that was my high school life. Like the girls would do that. I don't know if the guys ever did it, but yeah, that kind of reminded me of drill team, like the angles, but having their own little, I guess, this styling into it. Like I love the different angles here. I love the different levels. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Well, angles and levels. Da boom, da doom, doom, boom. Like one of my favorite things when I see groups is the dynamics. Is when they're like constantly going out, in, but it's not just like a hand thing, but they're actually dancing, like somehow like boom, boom, somehow interacting. That stuff is like trippy. It looks like it's a completely different picture in itself. Or cheerleading, there we go. Then 8, 1, 2. I love this part of the song. Ooh. Such a strong moment there. Just like a strong stance and just a hip sway. Bah! That's all stage presence right there, man. Ooh! Okay, that kind of reminds me of, what was it? Beat It? Beat It. Because that part? Ooh. But they added like their own vibe to it, is which makes it feel refreshing. Duh, duh, duh. So what I like about them is that they're very clean dancers. I don't think there was a moment where it felt like they're very aggressively hitting the movements, but in this case it wasn't needed because this is one of those routines where they need to be clean and sharp, and the huge oomph that I sometimes talk about doesn't always mean you have to hit hard. It's really more, with this was a lot more on their confidence and their performance. Like there's moments where they're just like the hip sway part, that very long hip sway part, kind of like not very long, but it was like maybe an 8 count or maybe four counts. But that part, just you have to be comfortable in just kind of like sitting through that movement without feeling awkward, because if you feel awkward, you break the illusion. There's a certain kind of character you're portraying when you're performing, and if you kind of break, especially with this, with how they're trying to portray themselves here, if you kind of lose that, it kind of creates a disconnect in a sense, and each performance is different. Also, like if there's an opportunity to goof off because it calls for it, cool. If it's something serious, you might be killing the choreography, but if your performance isn't aligned with the vibe that the choreographer or everyone else wants you to convey or expects you to convey, it's kind of like a misalignment. I hope that's making sense. All right, cool. So let's hop on into the performance. All right, so that's it. If you guys want more, click on all the things here. If you want to watch more content, reaction videos, and DKB. And if you want early access, become a patron. And if you want a request, become a patron. That's the only way I'm doing requests. And I'll see you guys in the next one.